What's happening, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today's Monday. Happy Monday, March 24th. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. In this video, we had a request from a VIP member on YouTube. Going to take a look at the Cannabist company. We're going to be looking at 0.02 as the next potential target. We do have a bear flag and a descending triangle, so we'll look at the CBSTF stock chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future content. Follow us over on X as well. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So taking a look at CBSTF here, this is on the OTC, so it'll be in USD. I'll just say this, just be very, very cautious. I'm not very confident in this company long term. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I generally have a gut feeling about things, and I would say my gut's right about 95% of the time, and not a huge fan of this company. I would more than likely say they're probably going to get acquired by another company at some point along the line. There's still a lot of consolidation needed in this space, and thousands of producers are just not needed. Like I said, could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I would just, at the very least, just use a lot of caution on this one. And I certainly wouldn't be breaking the bank, taking a second mortgage out on my house or something like that to buy this stock. I personally don't own it either, so I have no skin in the game. I have no interest in trying to pump up the stock or anything like that. I'm not short. I'm not trying to make money off of the stock price going down either. So just wanted to kind of set the room there and be completely transparent. But we'll take a look at the monthly time frame here. Sorry, the weekly time frame here. If we take a look at the high to the low, we were a very, very weak bounce here on this weekly bounce that occurred on the first week of January. And it was a very weak bounce. Anything under the 0.32 fib there at 12 cents was a potential weekly bear flag. We didn't even get above the 0.236. And then once we came down and lost support there at 4.6 cents, that confirmed the weekly bear flag. We also had MSOS and a ton of other names with bear flags on the weekly and daily time frames. So that added more likelihood that we're going to see this confirm and see more downside. Still a ways away before we see the EMAs cross bullish as well. So at this point, we are expecting another leg down. Like I said, if you just take your measured move there from the high to the low, move it out to your 0.32 fib, and it's saying the target is about 0.0237. And then if we get rid of the bear flag target, you can see there's also a descending triangle here. It's just a series of lower highs and a horizontal line of support, and that is a bearish pattern. If you invert it and you see the opposite, this is an ascending triangle where you have a horizontal line of resistance and a series of higher lows, shows the trend is strengthening. But in this case, it's not inverted. It's on the regular scale, so it is a descending triangle. Then you just take your measured move there from the apex and move it out to your support, and then measured move is saying 0.024. So in terms of the low here, looking at the low of last week, which is 0.04, we could see about another 39 to 40% of downside from here. So again, just be very, very cautious on this name. It can always go lower. Just when you think it can't go any lower, it can always go lower than that. One thing that we're looking at here on the weekly time frame, we did have a bull cross of the stochastic on the weekly time frame and the MACD as well. We just need to get above the 10-week moving average here. A lot of names struggling with that 10-week moving average, so we'll see what we can muster up here over the next few weeks. And I do think that the stock market is going to open up in terms of expansion. I think we're going to see a lot of rotation out of the mega cap, the large cap, and into more of the medium and small cap names. But ultimately, I do think the stock market's going to see a very bullish period here over the next couple of months. Also, if we were to get back to our 50 weekly, that would bring us up to around 16 cents. In terms of the daily time frame, we have the 200-day moving average at 15 cents. And we'll have to contend with the 50-day moving average there at 5.8 cents. So there's a lot of work to do. We're below all of our daily moving averages, well below all of our weekly moving averages, and still below the 10-week moving average. So there's a lot of work to do here. Seeing a little bit of hope with regards to the stochastic and the MACD, but again, just expecting another leg down as the most likely scenario. We're still in a weekly downtrend, monthly time frame. We're still in a monthly downtrend time frame as well. A series of lower highs and lower lows. So it's been very, very rough for MJ, and I'm not expecting anything major to change anytime soon. If we take a look at the daily time frame, we could be gearing up for a daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. This would be the first time since October of last year, but we're still at least, I would say, a week or two away before those see a bull cross. But it would just be, in my opinion, just a relief rally. If we zoom in here to the hourly time frame to see what we can see, it's a very illiquid name as well. Again, I would just be very, very cautious on this name. And if you are interested in this name or any name in MJ, I would ask you these questions. What is your favorite product and what is your favorite brand? That's one thing that I know that most people in the MJ industry don't understand or don't even give any kind of credence to. They don't even give any thought to it. People are throwing their hard-earned money into these companies and they have no idea what their products are like. They have no idea what their brands are like. Like, what's your favorite brand? What's your favorite product? Imagine, Warren Buffett buying a stock, buying McDonald's, and not knowing what their burgers tasted like, right? Not knowing their brands. Like, that is a huge, huge red flag when I see, and I think the reason for that is because most retail investors, specifically in the MJ industry, they don't get into the finance world because they love investing. They love the stock market. They love finance, right? It's because of their love of this amazing plant. And I share the same passion, but we have to, we can't be blinded by how the game is really played, right? And you have to, when you come into this industry, when you come into the stock market, I compare it to, going to college, going to university. You have to spend hours and hundreds of hours to really understand how this game is played. And if you don't, you'll get absolutely chewed up, right? And spitting out, you'll get chewed up, spit out, chewed on again, and then kicked when you're down, right? Just when you're down, you'll get another kick to the face, because that's what the industry, that's what this whole game is designed to do, right? It's to play on your emotions and to completely just death by 1,000 cuts, right? And it gets people frustrated, it gets people emotional. And what do people do whenever they get emotional? They make buying and selling decisions that are irrational. So you have to be very, very cautious. Also, there's a saying that goes in the industry, start low and go slow. Mostly it has to do with consumption, right? If you're starting to consume MJ for the first time, they say start low and go slow. If you're starting to invest for the first time, start low and go slow. And what do I mean by that? Wait for the prices to correct. Wait until everybody and their dog is talking about how this industry is never going to recover. It's down 80, 90%, right? There's always going to be another 70, 80% correction, especially when the industry is so nascent, right? We're still federally illegal in the US, right? So there's no reason to get FOMO, to rush in. And when you do start to buy, right? If you're going to start low, go slow. It's low, prices are low. Now go slow, right? Stagger in your buys, right? Just look to nibble a little bit here and there, right? And nothing's going to go to the moon overnight, right? Even if we were to start a new bull market, it's going to take at least a year or two for these names to even come close to their 52-week highs or their all-time highs, right? It might take multiple years, it might take 5 years for this industry to get back to all-time highs again. But once we get to all-time highs, do you think we're going to stop there? Of course not, right? It took Amazon, a decade to recover after 2001 when it saw 95% of its value eroded, right? So the same thing happens, and even more so, right? People say all the time, oh, you shouldn't compare MJ to Amazon. Well, yes, you can compare them, and it's even worse, right? Because it's still federally illegal. But the good news about, all of that bearishness and the legality side of it, once it is legal, there's going to be so much growth, right? You're not going to see, the market cap come even close to an Amazon, right? Amazon's $1 trillion valuation. But if you look at, crypto and AI, right, and blockchain, crypto is going to be a $50 to $100 trillion market by 2030, 2040. It's already in the trillions, right? So if MJ is projected to be somewhere around 130 billion by 2030, right? It goes to show you that it's not comparing apples to apples, it's apples to oranges, but the percentage gain, right, will still be roughly the same. There's going to be lots of 20x, 50x, 100x opportunities, right? So we have to be aware of that you don't need this industry to get to $1 trillion market cap. You just need to, buy it at the lows and be aware that percentage wise, there's going to be a lot of 50x opportunities, 100x opportunities, right? Personally, I don't think that the cannabis company is going to be one of them. I wouldn't own it if I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, 100-foot pole, maybe even 1,000-foot pole. That's just my own thoughts and opinions. Let me know your thoughts. If you own the stock, I wish you nothing but success. Let me know why you think I should look into it more, why you think I should own it. Like I said, what's your favorite product? What's your favorite brand? What is it that stands out? What's their moat? What's their differentiation, right? What's their competitive advantage? Or are you just, kind of throwing money at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? I'd just be very cautious about that. All right, have a great night. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you on the next video.